The end of power. From boardrooms to battlefields and churches to states, Why Being in Charge Isn't What It Used to Be by Moises Naim is a thought-provoking exploration of how power is transforming in the modern world. The book argues that traditional forms of power, whether in politics, business, religion, or warfare, are becoming less effective and more difficult to maintain. Naim, a seasoned scholar and former executive director of the World Bank, contends that power is not just shifting from one group to another, but is actually decaying. This decay is driven by three key forces: the more revolution, the mobility revolution, and the mentality revolution. These forces are making it harder for those in positions of authority to wield power as they once did. The more revolution refers to the unprecedented abundance of choices and resources available today. Whether it's the explosion of media outlets, the proliferation of products, or the rise of new political movements, people have more options than ever before. This abundance dilutes the influence of traditional powerholders. For example, in the past, a few major corporations or media giants could dominate markets or shape public opinion. Today, smaller players and niche markets are thriving, making it harder for any single entity to maintain control. Similarly, in politics, the rise of grassroots movements and independent candidates challenges the dominance of established parties and leaders. The mobility revolution highlights how people, ideas, and resources are moving faster and more freely than ever before. Advances in technology and transportation have made it easier for individuals and groups to bypass traditional gatekeepers. For instance, social media allows activists to organize and spread their messages without relying on mainstream media. This mobility undermines the ability of governments, corporations, and other institutions to control the flow of information or resources. Naim illustrates this with examples like the Arab Spring, where decentralized networks of protesters used digital tools to challenge authoritarian regimes. The mentality revolution reflects a shift in how people think about authority and hierarchy. In the past, people were more willing to accept the power of governments, religious leaders, or corporate bosses. Today, there is growing skepticism toward traditional institutions and a greater demand for transparency and accountability. This change in mindset is fueled by access to information and a desire for greater participation in decision-making processes. Naim argues that this shift is making it harder for leaders to command loyalty or enforce obedience, as people are more likely to question and challenge authority. Throughout the book, Naim provides compelling examples from various domains to illustrate his arguments. He discusses how smaller, more agile companies are outmaneuvering corporate giants, how insurgent groups are challenging powerful militaries, and how new religious movements are disrupting established churches. He also examines the implications of these changes for global stability, suggesting that the decay of power could lead to both positive and negative outcomes. On the one hand, it can empower individuals and foster innovation. On the other hand, it can create chaos and make it harder to address global challenges like climate change or pandemics. The key takeaway for readers is that the nature of power is fundamentally changing, and this transformation is reshaping the world in profound ways. Naim encourages us to rethink our assumptions about leadership, governance, and influence. He suggests that in a world where power is more diffuse and harder to maintain, success will depend on adaptability, collaboration, and the ability to navigate complexity. For individuals, this means taking advantage of the opportunities created by the decay of power, whether it's starting a business, joining a social movement, or engaging in politics. For leaders, it means finding new ways to inspire and mobilize people in an era where traditional authority is no longer enough. In essence, the end of power is a call to understand and adapt to the new realities of a world where power is no longer concentrated in the hands of a few. It's a book that challenges readers to think critically about the forces shaping our lives and to consider how we can thrive in a more decentralized and dynamic world. Whether you're a business leader, a policymaker, or simply someone interested in understanding the changing nature of power, Naim's insights offer valuable lessons for navigating the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century.